Oh my god, mate, it's been a month. Do you have water now? I forgot. Are you still in a drought? Do you still have to wake up at 4 a.m. to drink water? Like, what's happening?
Yes and yes.
No.
That is life now, like that is life now.
Oh god.
I mean, to be fair, my home specifically has been less affected than others. The normal time should be from a.m. to 10 a.m. That is the time for water. Here at home, the water is going out at about 4 p.m. So it's not as bad as others, but yes, mate, I'm done. If you can send me some water, please.
Send Ducklings some water in the mail, please. He needs it.
Yeah. Speaking of someone who doesn't need water because he lives in Guadalajara, Jalisco, this is the Zerg player for Team GP. It is Cham.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire ESL, we have the Brazilian Terran player, not Protoss, representing himself potentially. Gonna have to quickly look that up at some point. It is Fate.
I'm pretty sure that Fate like multi-racers or something, because I'm pretty sure that I have seen him play both.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know why you want to play Terran over Protoss, but I don't know. Maybe he has honor or something. I don't know.
maybe. Mate, have you been hearing about all the race switching that's been happening recently?
No, I haven't. What happened? I mean, I know Raynor and his Protoss stuff. But other than that, I haven't heard anything else. Is there something more?
We casted the TSL Korean qualifiers a couple of days ago.
Oh, yes, Maru.
Yeah, the qualifying match, Maru switched to Protoss.
And won.
Yeah, and won. I felt so bad for Percival.
Mate, even Maru is abandoning us.
I mean, mate, it's the better race, you know? Like, what do you want? Like, he wants to win, you know?
Maybe that is what is holding me back, mate, from being a professional player. You know, I chose the wrong race.
Oh my god! But mate, it's about honor, mate. All right, are you really gonna do yourself dirty like that and switch to Protoss? Ay. Oh god. But yeah, it's been really interesting to see both Maru and Raynor switch things up like that and actually play Protoss, actually off race and find success with it. It's a weird era of StarCraft that we're in.
Mate, I cannot wait in 10 years when StarCraft is on his last breath, where everything is PvP.
It's all PvP. Ay. Well, speaking of it all being PvP, there's no Protoss here in this game, and Fate is going for a 3-Rax in TVZ.
Look, I've seen crazier things happen, okay? This should be, in theory, double. I was not expecting the double tech lab, but fine. This should be like a 2-base strong bio push. You know, like just after Steam is done, or as soon as Steam is finishing, like you just go with everything, including your workers, and see if you can kill this other player.
Yeah, like this is an odd build that you don't see too often, to be honest, right? It's either a 1-1-1 proxies or a 2-1-1, right? So straight up 3-Rax is pretty insane. As you were saying, this is gonna hit pretty hard with these upgrades. We'll see if he does end up pulling the boys as well, and we'll see if he can keep this hidden. I think that's probably the more important thing. Cham, interestingly enough, if you look at his overlord positioning, he is not scouting out. He doesn't give a damn what Fate is doing right now.
Yeah, correct. Like, maybe Cham was watching what Hydra games and he was like, no, mate, I don't want to my overlord.
Oh my god, exactly. So he's playing very blind right now. He's taking a lot for granted. His overlord positioning will kind of notify him about any Hellions coming across the map, and at a certain point, basically now, the fact that there are no Hellions, so Cham knows that it is not a 1-1-1. He knows that this should be at least a 2-1-1, at least a bio push will be coming, and he will be getting ready for that, or he should be getting ready for that soon.
People in the chat for some reason are asking where I'm from.
Oh.
And yes, I'm from the northeast of Mexico in the city of Monterrey in Nuevo León. So yes, that is where water is lacking. Like all of North Mexico basically is dry at the moment.
Yeah.
I was reading the news a few days ago where Sonora, which is same in the north but on the other side to the west, is also suffering from droughts. And wow, that is a very strong push from Marines, mate. The team is just now done, 2 queens dead, and I think it has enough Marines to kill more queens and weaken the self position. Nice settlings around, so that was a strong push, not possibly as strong as probably Fate wanted it to be, but think about this. This was not an all-in by all means. You know, it was only like a small push to see how much damage he can do. And not only did he kill quite a few queens, he got a nice scout, and more importantly, he didn't see any banelings.
Yeah, it was a decent push there. As I mean, Cham wasn't necessarily ready for it. 5 queens went down, which is honestly pretty nice. And thankfully, we do see that Fate is transitioning behind this. 3rd base is on the way. We have our factory. We have our starport. He wasn't completely all in. Was that push? Did it deal enough damage? Is the real question, because it didn't really hurt the economy of Cham. And a feature of this map, mate, there's a gold base.
Wait, there is only one?
Yep, only one.
Okay, there's one here. There is. Wait, but why is it there? I mean, sure. I'm just gonna nod and say yes, but what a strange position for that goal base.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of, you can take it as a 4th base, as a Zerg player. It is a little bit more isolated and a little bit harder to hold on to, but if it goes unscouted, then Cham can get away with a massive economy. Meanwhile, we do see Fate moving out across the map with a bit of a drop. One drop does slip on by. Cham gonna try and maybe punish this 3rd, but oh god, ends up losing some links.
Interesting thing here for Fate, he's delaying a lot his medibacks. I was expecting more medibacks, especially with the amount of bio that he has. Come on, Fate. Go and build some medibacks. Make me proud.
Yeah, the starport is here. We've got a reactor. No medevacs yet. With the lack of medevacs, he can't really push out too hard. He still does have that drop, I guess, but he hasn't really done too much with it. Not yet. Ooh, as both players are just chilling out and maxing on outs, or at least Cham is. But yeah, for those that were wondering, Darking is currently undergoing a bit of a drought. Hopefully not for too long. How long has it been going on? Like over 2 months, 3 months?
Yeah, like 2 months, 2 months and something like that. Like, look, if you don't see me sweating right now, it's because I'm trying to save as much water as I can. Okay.
Ay. Not like this, puppy. Not like this. Oh god. And I honestly, I feel like Fate should be sweating a little bit here because his medevacs were so delayed. He hasn't really been active because this creep is going pretty uncontested. Even with his first bio push, he didn't scan, if you remember. Like, I don't think a single creep tumor has really been cleaned up this game, or not many, I should say.
Yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be Fate is gonna have his work cut out for him when he's trying to push later on. This is a lot of bio, mate. This is a lot of bio. What I'm worried about at the composition of Fate, a lot of Marines, not much to buffer from them in case, you know, Penlings appears. No, there's no Marauders, there's like only a few tanks, only a few medivacs. It's a very squishy army.
Yeah, it's very delicate of an army. You can work with this if you have really good tank positioning and really good kind of control of your overall Marine army. So I don't want to count him out yet. What I am really scared of, though, is that Cham, because his economy has been left alone, he's been able to tech up. He already has a hive. He already has a lurker den. He's going to be working on lurker upgrades. 2-2's about to finish up. Lurkers are on the way. Like, Cham is working on that late game army. He does have a lot of roaches, which isn't ideal, but again, Cham is already maxed even.
Yeah. Nice drop here by Fate. Unfortunately, he lost the medivac because of those spores that were in the main base, and the drop is gonna be easily cleaned up. 0 worker skill. Also, what's up with those many spores?
I I love it because Cham wasn't really working with a lot of anti-air, right? Like he didn't go mutas, he only made enough hydras to really morph into lurkers as well. He was a little bit vulnerable, so I appreciate it. It makes sense. I mean, it works.
Look. This just goes to show that at heart, Cham is a silver player, okay?
True, mate, true. But you know what? Silver may be all he needs. Again, he's still rounding out his army. Adaptive Talents just finishes up. There we go. Groove Spines on the way. Vipers are coming out. He's getting everything that he needs. With Vipers, he can finally break through these tank lines.
Yeah, this is a lot of tech that Cham is doing, and now that he's maxed out, it's time to throw it away. It's time to just try to break the turn as much as you can, and there we go. A bunch of roaches are moving forward, seeing what the Terran player has, and the answer is not much. He has tanks, he has a few marines, and that's it. Oh no, that is okay. He's gonna be able to kill both of them, but that was an expensive trade for Fate. And do you consider that worth it? He didn't lose that many marines. I think it was okay in the end, but at the beginning it looked really dicey.
Oh yeah, he lost a lot of marines in the first couple of plays. Oh no! Ooh, that was so close.
No mate. He was baiting me. He was baiting to see if he kills himself.
True. Oh god, I do think that was worth it there for Fate, just because again he didn't lose any gas as well. Meanwhile, his main army is pushing on towards his goal base. Oh my god, but the lurkers are ready and waiting.
Yeah, lurkers are already here. There are tanks coming, but there's only a couple of tanks, and we have already the Vipers here. There we go, 1 yoink and 1 tank dead, and there's not many tanks. This is gonna be easily cleaned up, I think. Yeah. And there we go. And without tanks, those lurkers can do wonders against that infantry.
Oh yeah, exactly. 4 tanks go down. There's only 2 tanks remaining here behind this army. Thankfully, Fate is transitioning into Ghosts. Ghosts are exactly what you need, but he doesn't have many of them. He only has 4. He needs a little bit more time to really refine his army, and with that time, he's going to try and push out across the map. And he catches some Roach Ravager.
Yeah, there's a lot of units that are gonna go down for basically free. Only 1 steam from that infantry. I still think Fate is lacking a few medivacs. This is a lot of infantry and only 4 or 5 medivacs. So we'll see. And now he's trying to push. He's trying to move his opponent out of place. And there we go. A couple of young tanks. He loses 1 Viper for it.
Yeah, exactly. But he gets both tanks. 0 tanks remaining with this army. A couple of piles are going to be connecting. Snipes do go down, but he still cannot break through this defensive line of lurkers.
Yeah, this is a big defense here for Cham. Fate needs to start. I mean, the attack was good, but what he needed was a second attack on another base.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he wasn't able to break the gold base. He wasn't able to break the 4th base either. We see Cham expanding towards the northern side of the map. He did clean up a lot of creep, though, and I have to give him props there. You know, it's going to be that much more difficult for Cham to replenish all of that, especially because he lost so many queens early on.
Yeah, definitely. Now here we go. Fate coming on once again to the left-hand side of the map. There is nothing here to defend, only a couple of lurkers, and this is more than enough infantry to break through. The rest of the army is coming behind this now.
Oh, exactly. There was a nice snipe on the lurkers, but he has to respect this army. I say respect the army. That's a lot of hydras. This isn't really the most ideal Zerg army that Cham is working with, but oh, he does get another tank.
Yeah, there is a lot of DPS by Cham, and that is a lot of lurkers in on the way.
Oh my god, that's disgusting.
14 lurkers. Mate, that's disgusting, says the third player.
I was about to say, like, yo, I don't really like this army from Cham. It's a bunch of hydras. Never mind. They all turn into lurkers. This is a great army. Oh my god. So yeah, Cham just refining himself a little bit more. With all these lurkers, we need to see something different from Fate. Going into whether it's more tanks, whether it's more liberators, whether it's more ghosts, we need more of that, less of Marine Marauder.
Yeah, another small group of Roach Ravager that get caught here, but oh my god, all of the oh my god, I forgot the name. Lurker. Of the lurkers here. 14 lurkers, 19 workers killed immediately, mate. They didn't last for a second, and Fate just GG's. He knows he's dead, and that is it. Cham takes the first game of the series.
GG. Cham just dives in. He outpositions Fate, takes out not just the base, but also takes control of the high ground. So Fate, he just can't push up. He just can't do it. And a very decisive move there from Cham. Fate had a really interesting start, but a solid transition to get into the mid game.
Yeah, it was like Fate had the right idea. He just needed to like execute it better, I think. Like there's small improvements here and there that he can make to his build order.
Yeah. I think he was like, personally, I think I don't really like how passive he was for such a long time, right? It took him a while to really start being active. And to be fair, when he was being active, when he was pushing out, he was finding success. You know, he was doing some damage. He was clearing up some creep. He was trading relatively well. It just took a while for that to really get going.
Man, can you imagine if a player existed that had the macro of Fate and the micro of White Hydra? Can we combine them, you know, Dragon Ball style, to create the ultimate Terran player?
Is that special? Is that funny? I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh god. But yeah, there were definitely things to definitely praise there for Fate, but alas, Cham was just a little bit too solid in the end. But what I appreciate is that we go from one of the larger maps, Cosmic Sapphire, now to the smallest map, the shortest rush distance map on Waterfall.
Is this the shortest rush distance map, really?
Yeah, fun fact, you enjoyed Beckett, right?
Yes.
Yeah, if you remember Beckett Industries. I think the rush distance on Waterfall is comparable to that on Beckett Industries.
Nice.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to have you on ladder someday.
Oh god. I think Beckett was a little bit faster because it had those speed zones, if you remember. But yeah, this is a map that, again, this doesn't have that many bases. Oh boy. But very nice aesthetically. Very nice.
And there we go. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Waterfall, to ESL Waterfall, the one of the new maps that soon is gonna be reaching to your map pool. Spawning here in the bottom left hand corner of the map, the Drexer player, all the way from Mexico, all the way from Team GP. It is Cham.
And spawning in the top right hand corner of Waterfall ESL, we have the Brazilian Terran player himself. He is blue. It is Fate.
So, Light, what do you think of Cham tempting Fate itself?
How is he tempting with all the lurkers? Is that what you mean? Is that... Do you think he's going to be punished for committing such a sin, making 14 lurkers at once? I hope so. Jesus Christ.
By the way, I love the chat, the contrast between StarCraft 2 players, because one side Fate is dead and the other is Fate is super dead, and the other person is saying a bit early GG.
Well, I mean, I kind of understand that, because when Fate tapped out, he had a bank. He had a pretty sizable bank, to be fair, so he could replenish his army, but at the same time, like, the positioning of the lurkers was disgusting.
Yes,
like,
the positioning was horrible. It
Yeah.
was horrible.
Yeah.
If it not were for the positioning, I would say Fate still had the champ, but that positioning specifically, because all his units were on the low ground.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah, he would have to be forced into like a base trade, but even then, Cham had the option to just turn around and go back home, or he could just go all the way into the natural or even the main and into the production, you know, like.
Remember, people, if you are a Terran player, never base trade. You cannot win.
Oh god, I think there's some Terran players that have won base trades before, but it's
against other Terran players.
Oh god, but yeah,
look, trust me, I'm a Terran expert.
Oh god, shaking my head. It's all on a case-by-case basis. Meanwhile, here we go. As you see, our openers pretty standard across the map. The Reaper going to try and deal some damage. Forces a gas geyser to be taken. Cham saves the drone.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but last game, Fate didn't beat the Reaper.
True. Yeah.
So there we go. Fierce Reaper coming out from Fate, and right now doing work, like keeping Cham busy. It has just yet to kill anything, but it's very annoying.
Yeah, I mean, more importantly, it's also scouting as well, making sure, okay, there is a third base, that there isn't any kind of weird fast roach warren or anything like that, and you have to keep your eye on your opponent, especially on a map like Waterfall. Also, another divergence back at home. Mate, we don't see a third Rax.
Yeah, we're going for a 2-1-1. Like, I think Fate learned his lesson, and going like full 3 racks is not a good idea if you're not really gonna all in. You need a little more of balance in your build order, you know what I mean? A 2-1-1 is acceptable. You're still gonna have a nice marine production, and you can rush that steam that it is so much needed. But you're gonna have that starport early on, so you can have the medivacs ready. Man,
Yeah.
are we gonna see a 16 marine drop?
Yeah, I mean, we should. I mean, we've got a lot of Marines to work with, and of course, we're going to have those 2 medevacs on the way. I 100% agree. Like, there's a reason why 2-on-1 is more meta than 3 racks, especially in this matchup. You can 3 racks all you want in TVP, but against Zerg, you need that mobility more so than units. So I do really appreciate this from Fate. We'll see if he can get away with it, because this time Cham is a little bit more on top of scouting.
Yes, there's one overlord across the map. It is in a very curious position. If Fate opened with Marines like he did last game, that overlord will probably be dead. But let's see when Cham decides to send it and how much is he.
Yeah,
So that is gonna be the question. And more importantly, that when the medivacs leave the base, they don't leave on the overlord paths.
yeah, that's probably the more important thing, right? He has to make sure he avoids it. Oh my god, meanwhile, you know what? Fate doubles down. Behind the 2-on-1, instead of throwing down a third CC, he throws down 3 more Raxes.
Look, why not? Why not? As someone great say once, man with gun is good.
Man with gun OP. Let's go. Even an armory behind this before even any NG bays. Oh my god. As he's pumping at Hellions. So he plans to go for even a follow-up Hellbat push.
Wow. And there we go. He's gonna deny this 4 base. A kill, not a cancel. And there we go. 16 Marines doing havoc here in the bases of Cham. Now Fate did not go further. I would like him to go further because, mate, there are 0 banelings. There is not even a baneling nest inside. This could have done so much damage.
Yeah, this could do a little bit more. And thankfully, he's still being active here in the middle of the map, cleaning up a couple of these creep drummers. But I understand that he doesn't want to overextend. Why? Because there's the second push coming soon. He doesn't want to throw away too many Marines. He has to be very careful with what he has. And what's important is that, again, he's keeping Cham's attention at home. Cham hasn't gone in to see if there is a third CC.
Yeah, he has not seen that CC. He has not seen anything. He's about to see. Is he gonna see? I don't know if the Overlord can see. Barely. Yeah, he can see a line of Marines coming across the map. So maybe he's up to something.
Exactly. Meanwhile, we have Baneling speed on the way. There we go. The first wave of Banelings are on the way, but is it going to be enough? A lot of the creep is being receded. The Hellbats are being morphed in. And again, Fate is here with the 2 base all in.
Yeah, Fate is here. There we go. But the Banelings are about to finish as well. Let's see how good the splits are for Fate.
So far, they're pretty good. The Banelings do back on up. It looks like Cham wants to buy time. He wants to buy time because 24 Lings are in production right now. But the Marines, they're getting into the 3rd.
Yeah, Marines are getting to the 3rd. They're getting on top of the Queens. They go up the ramp, and now let's see how good the Banelings are gonna be.
Yeah, exactly. The Banelings roll on in. The splits are pretty good. The majority of the Marines will survive. They can keep on going, but Lings are coming out, and the boys are being pulled.
Yeah, this is a lot, and the Marines are very tough. They're in the red and the orange. I think Cham is gonna be able to survive it. With the next wave of Herlings, he should help.
Yeah, exactly. Cham barely holds on. There was one or two juicy Baneling connections there in the end, and it looks like there just barely isn't enough here for Fate to keep on going. It was pretty close. Let's be real. We do have another line of Marines coming, but like that first push, or that second push technically, was the biggest one. Now he's just trickling in.
Yeah, and now this is the hard part for Fate, because he stopped building SCVs quite a while ago. He is now at 40, and he's not gonna build anymore. There is not TCC on the way. This is everything. And there we go. It didn't work, and GG. Cham takes the series 2-0.
GG, well played. It may not have worked, but that was close. Cham was being so greedy with not scouting, with droning up, with taking more bases. He was making his Banelings literally at the last moment. As soon as he saw that army coming onto creep, Fate, he almost pulled it off.
Almost. He was so close. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Cham was scared for a second there when he saw all that many Marines and he didn't have any Banelings running. He thought, oh shit.
Oh god. It was also really patient play from Cham as well. If you remember, he initially pulled back and he pulled everything back towards his third base and his natural. Like he was trying to wait and bide as much time as possible. Oh god. So yeah, GG, well played there to Cham. Very good crisis management. Now he moves on to the next round.
Yes, and we are going to see a CBC next from him because, mate, it's Cham versus the Settlor.